Hello and welcome to this segment of Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN TV. My name is Yetunde Alanamu. Today we'll be talking about Global Day of Parents. Appreciate all parents throughout the world. And I'm here with Oluwaferomi Oni, where she will tell us more about Global Day of Parents. Hello.
Yes, ma.
How are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Okay, to start the discussion, tell us more about Global Day of Parents.
Okay. So when we say Global Day of Parents, this is just a day set aside to specially appreciate parents for all their upbringing, for taking care of kids, because like we know that being a parent is not an easy job at all. This is called maturity and it is called owning up to the task. So we can say the Global Day is especially to appreciate parents and to make them know that they're doing a great job.
Okay, so how do you think we can celebrate the Global Day of Parents?
Yeah, we can celebrate it by, creating an event for them so they can go out and have a good time. Because I'm also a parent and I know it's a very, very, a tight thing for parents that they don't really, have time to enjoy themselves anymore. So I can easily say that we can, organize an event for them so they can go there and have, have a good time with each other.
Okay, so what are the role of a parent?
Role of a parent. Role of a parent is, number one, making sure that your child has a proper upbringing. Number one, making sure that your child have a proper upbringing by making sure that they have God in their life, because I don't joke with God. God is above everything we do. So number one, you must make sure they have God. Number two, you must make sure that they are, they are well presentable outside. Anywhere they get to, they must have this, this sense of upbringing, because that is a reflection of who you as a parent are. So you must make sure they have that also. And also, among their peers, they must be able to, influence each other positively, not negatively.
Okay, in order for parents to bring up a child in a well manner, so what are the challenges that you think parents face?
Part of the challenges they will be facing is that, number one, you have to realize that you are doing your best to make sure that they are well upbringed. But the fact is that you cannot keep them around you 24 hours. They will surely go outside there, go to school, go to church, and meeting with other kids out there. They might be influencing them negatively. And you only find out that all these things you are doing, I don't bring you up this way. That is a great challenge for a parent, because the parent is doing all he or she can do to make sure that this child is okay, and only to find out that the child is bringing another attitude, it can break a parent down totally. So this can be part of the challenges that they might be facing.
Okay, so what are the role of a parent?
Yeah, role of a parent is to make sure that their kids, they put their feet on a proper lane. Make sure that their kids are placed on a proper lane. Role of a parent is to provide for the needs of these children. Role of a parent is to set aside sometimes your own dream, just to make sure that these kids have the best they need in life.
Okay, we talked about the challenges that parents faced in during upbringing.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what is the possible challenges that parents face in raising a well-mannered children.
Raising a well-mannered children. Okay, so part of the challenges they might be facing is, let's say for example, you are at home, family members might decide to come visit, and which you don't plan. Or they might say, okay, somebody is coming over, they want to stay with you. And the way you are planning, the trend you are following with your kids is quite different from those ones. When they come in, they will surely, one way or the other, start influencing them negatively. And that alone is I can say, is a big headache for parents also. So we always face that challenge also. It's a normal thing because family will always be family.
Yes,
And you being a parent trying to train your child in a different way, different from the way your family background is, you know, is a different ball game entirely. So
probably if a parent taught his child to be prostrating for an elder, and other family members just come in, and that will be
yeah, so it's going to look like, what is this? Are you sure you are a family member? Yes. Are you well trained? Whereas that does not really mean that that child is not well trained. It's just that this is the way I want to train my child. This is what I want. So, you know, that can be a challenge for the parents because, you know, the child will be facing all this, you know, all this, I don't know how to call that now. Will be facing all these issues, you know, about condemnation and all those things. So.
Okay, about this bringing up a well-mannered child, I still want to know what advice can you give to parents in order for them to bring brought up a well-mannered child, and what are the things, the key points parents have to put into their
life? Yes. Okay, so number one, like I said the other time, number one, you have to put God's fear in them. They need to have the fear of God. You need to feed them with the word of God daily, morning and night. They need it. Then secondly, you need to spend time with them. So many parents do not have enough time to spend with kids. I'm not blaming them, no, because they have to look for money. They have to, you know, do a lot of things to make sure they are fine. And at the other hand, you need to spend time with them, because the best way to be able to bring your child up properly is spending time with them. That alone will let you have access into their life, and then you will know where they are lacking. You will know where you need to buckle up. You will know where you need to start putting pressure so that they can become that, you know, well-upbringed child.
You know, that's why they usually tell mothers that they should try and build a relationship between their children so that there will be this mother and child connection.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on. What is the power of a parent?
The power of a parent, that is, number one, I would say that in the book of Proverbs, God has said it. He said, honor your father and your mother so that your day may be long. And he says, do not despise the law of your mother. You see, this mother and father thing, parenting thing, is a very powerful thing. That they have the power over these children to the extent that whatever they say, God grants it. That is how powerful they can be in the life of a child. And I want us to also know that these parents are like the car that is riding these children. Wherever they want them to go to, that's where they are riding them to. So you can see that is why I am quite different from you. My parents' lifestyle is different from yours. The way they want me to be is the way they have trained me. Likewise, yours too, the way they have trained you. So their power over their children is so high to the extent that they have the power to dictate what they want their children to become in the nearest future.
Okay, what is the role of a parent in society?
Oh, wow. The role of a parent in the society is very massive, because we're going to start from home. You training it, you see, all the products we see out there now is the result of what parents has raised in the house, in their home. So the role, the raising or upbringing of this child are the effects of what we are seeing out here now. For the ones that are not properly trained, they are out there constituting, you know, I won't say nuisance or anything. But for the ones that have the thought that whatsoever I raise now is what will go out there and become something else. So they give them a proper upbringing, and then they are out there doing what they have to do to help the society. Okay,
so what are the environmental factors that hinder the rightful upbringing of children in time?
Environmental factors. Part of it is, you know, would I say where we stay, where we live.
Area matters.
Yes, it really matters. Like in business, they would say that you need to do visibility study of where you want to place your market. Yes. If you are selling this, don't go and stay in an area of this. Where this thing is needed, then you are bringing the opposite to that side. You just find out that you are not making your sales. So you have to study your vicinity. Part of the negative influence that all this environment can cause our kids is a polluted environment. You know, we have them everywhere, and we are not the owner of the whole city that we can control everything. So environments and people around, people surrounding us, can influence them negatively for us.
I think that environment matters a lot, because when someone is staying in a local area, you know, there's no way that parents want to try. Yeah. There's no way. There will still be that area
influence will still be.
Yes,
it will still be in them. Yes.
Okay. Sure. What do you think, parents? What do you think makes a good parent?
What makes a good parent? Number one is the fear of God.
Fear of God.
The fear of God. I keep saying it.
Important.
There's no reason why I would leave that one aside. If you have the fear of God, there's a lot of things that you will produce. Part of it is good habits, good manners. Forget about somebody training you to be this. But naturally, if you have the fear of God, you will know that everywhere you are, if nobody is there, only you are the only one in a room, for example, you know quite okay that nobody is there. If you have the fear of God, you won't do some certain things that is not right. It is not because anybody is looking at you. It is because you just have that fear in you. So part of the, let me just say, number one thing that a parent should have is the fear of God, because that will help that parent to produce good things. And when you are producing good things, naturally your children, they are also adopting it. So that will also influence their life too in such way.
Okay, now let me talk about, you know, there are some parents that they have this, the way they brought them up is very bad. So when they have their own kids too, they want to use their own bad upbringing. There's no way to not reflect on their own kids. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I want to say that somebody doing something bad will know that he or she is doing bad thing. He's only looking for the person that will caution him or her. So the thing is, if we are truthful to ourselves, if you are truthful to yourself, number one thing is that if you are not being truthful to yourself, you will influence a lot of things around you negatively. Yes. There's no doubt about that. You will influence a lot of things negatively. Part of it is your kids. So once you know that this thing is not good and you don't want your kids' life to be like that, you need to start adjusting. You need to start taking, caution all your attitude, so that these children will not adopt all these things from you. You are doing it for people, they are taking it. They are just taking it, not because they just like, let's just overlook her. Let's just leave her. They are leaving you to your problem. You face it where you face it.
Okay, so what is the important part of being a parent?
The important part of being a parent is that it will make you be more matured. Very, very matured. Like, there's no how you will be a mother or a father that you will not become matured.
Because you want your kids to be seeing you as their role model.
Exactly. And then there's no how, like, you will want to appear like a mother and father to them. So you will want to sit on that maturity chair by force.
By fire by force.
By fire by force, so, yeah.
Okay. In Africa, there's a lot of issues like poverty, insecurity, and it's quite hard for parents to do a proper job on their kids. What would be your advice to parents who find themselves in a situation in order to do a good job in bringing up good children?
Okay. First of all, I'll say that, in this life, we are not equal. There's no equality at all. Then I would tell them that number one thing they should do is don't leave God aside. Do not leave God aside. Everything we do that makes us successful today, it is because God allowed it to be. So number one thing is they should not leave God aside. It doesn't matter how you were brought up. You were raised in a very rough place. poverty home. There is no, not enough thing to make you be who you want to be. Fine, it's fine. It's very fine. But it's now your job to make sure that you don't end up being in poverty. It's your job. Part of what you will do is that you make sure you secure a job. Secure a job at all costs. Then if it's a parent, yes, I'm talking to the parents now, what they can do. Because some parents will say, I don't have the privilege, my parents are not rich, so it influenced my life now, and that's why I'm in this state. That's complaining. If you want to make it in life, number one, stop complaining. Receive the responsibility now. Forget about your parents and the way they raise you. Forget it. It is you now that is in the game. Now, so you have to own up to yourself now. If you can't have the access to go back to school, then go and learn a job. It will only learn skills. It will only take you some few time to learn. It doesn't matter. All you will know is fine. My poverty will soon be over, and it will not influence this kid's life. So you just need to get a job, get a job or get a skills, go and learn something, and then always mingle with people. Mingle with people. Some people do not. Yeah, some people do not have money, but they have people around them that like
there are people that are willing to help.
Yes, part of the thing that is making parents to suffer today is because they'll be like, I don't talk to this, I'm not used to mingling, I'm not used to that. Fine, it's okay, but there's something you need to do. Hello, you are parents now. You need to do it not because of you anymore. It is because of these kids now. So these kids will make you do some things that you don't do before. So you need to start, but make sure it is the right thing. The right thing. So it will help those kids. So part of the things they will do, number one is move closer to God. Number two is if they don't have a job, let them go look for a job, get a job.
Don't sit at home.
Don't sit at home. No, that won't help. Because a slack hand is poverty. No, don't do that. So make sure you get a job. Then at the other side, look for some side hustles. See, these days, you don't need to have one work again.
Particular job, yes.
No. At least a mother or father must have like three stream of income. At least I call it. I said at least. If you don't want your kids to suffer in this,
that's just it. If you don't want your kids to suffer,
you want them to be okay. So considering the insecurity and all those things you mentioned, you need to stand and start doing all of these things. Get the side jobs and all of that.
So it's very important for a parent to be well equipped, let's say with money and to work and everything, in order for their child not to be roaming about. Exactly,
because we are talking about a role model. You are number one role model to those kids. So when we call a role model, when they need this, you give them. When they want, they lack manners, you give them manners. So it's just like you now, you are just like what will I call it? You have a lot of things, a lot of skills in you now. So you see why I say it's a maturity state. So that's what it will end up.
Okay, help us to appreciate parents at home and give them a word of encouragement if they want to give up, so that they'll be able to pick up on time.
All right. So to the parents out there, number one, I would say that you are doing a great job. You are doing a great job. First of all, to starting from giving birth, raising them. Number one, I want you to know that you have set aside a lot of things just to make sure that those kids are growing. Yes. That is number one thing you have done. You have done a great job doing that. And number two is that trying to feed them, going out there to make sure that they are fine. In fact, we can't appreciate you enough. And I will say this to all parents, that I want you to tap yourself at the back and tell yourself, I am doing a great job. Don't let anybody let you down. You have done a great job. And above all, I will say that don't give up. Situations around might want you to give up, but do not give up, because these children, tomorrow, they will later thank you for doing that great job for them. So that alone is something for you to live for. Thank you.
Our parents, we really appreciate you. We appreciate your good work. We appreciate the fact that you bring us to this world and you have been taking care of us. Kudos to you. That will be the end of today's episode. I am Yetunde Alanamu. Join us next time.